Some of us, if you are like me, fell victims to our habits. We have become what we repeatedly do, and for the most of us, it's toxic. We live in a day and age where high levels of toxicity has us on a path of destruction. We no longer value solutions, and we value numbing the pain. We drown our sorrows with alcohol and prescription drugs. We also get caught up in other people's lives so we don't have to face our own. This way of life is not stable, and it will get the best of all of us. Unless we can figure out a way to break this cycle, we are doomed. Something has to be done, and I want to learn how to consistently live one day at a time in a way that is healthy and allows us to develop skills that I could then apply to any task that comes my way. It will be hard to do because we live in a world that doesn't fully support healthy lifestyles. We don't want to be healthy because we want to be healthy. We want to be healthy because we want to attract a girlfriend or boyfriend, and then once we get into a relationship, we let ourselves go. It sucks. Our values are not aligned, and soon we will realize this. Just imagine if and when you have kids or even grandkids. You don't want to be unhealthy and unable to enjoy the time with them. This is terrifying to think of. Family is important, and the last thing we should want is to not enjoy our time with them. There has to be a way out. When we look around at all the people who are living the lives they want because they want to, we can notice something. We notice that they have what some of us are struggling with. They have habits that allow them to be consistent in life. They work to be healthy, and they still have time to go after their dreams. I want that more than we can all imagine. Like you, I also have dreams. A problem I see is that certain habits don't allow us to achieve our dreams because we get caught up in the side of the world that has little value to us. We easily get distracted by the work, parties, people, and other things that consume our time, to the point that we don't have time to do anything else, let alone build our dreams. This isn't new to us, and I have a feeling some of you feel this way too. I tried to make the changes on my own, but failed miserably. Eventually, I moved into my sister's house and started going to rehab and Alcoholics Anonymous. And among the things that were talked about, living one day at a time was the topic that lost me every time. I could tell based on the conversations that a great deal of people were still struggling with this idea of living one day at a time. Some of them had been there for years, and clearly they still didn't know what to do. I planned to not be like that, and I knew if we could figure out a way to live one day at a time, we could get a grasp over our lives like the healthy and productive people. I began to intensively think about what I wanted to do to achieve by living one day at a time. I knew I wanted to be healthy and have healthy relationships. I knew I wanted to become a better person than yesterday, and I knew I wanted to help the world by being able to do this consistently. I figured if this can be achieved, I would be a few steps closer to building the life of my dreams. And if it helps me get off this toxic path, it could help others. I plan to use philopsychonomics, which is a field of study that we are developing as the framework to find the solution. It's worked for almost all of our other problems, and I believed it would work here too. We used economics to research the leading causes of death around the world. Psychology was used to help us with habit formation, and philosophy helped with century-old thoughts. The main thought came from Aristotle: we are what we repeatedly do. At first it was a struggle, but we started by teaming up to agree that we are going to become healthy on a consistent basis. My sister and I looked at each other's schedules and realized the mornings before she went to work was the best time to go to the gym. We began by going to work out before work and started to have this energy high that got us through the day. We only had a specific amount of time to do this, so we had to be punctual. After the gym, we'd go home. While she got ready to leave for work, I would make breakfast. We would eat, and she would go to work. Then I got ready for the rest of the day and got to work. Work really takes up a lot of our time, and I'm sure it takes up a lot of your time. But this is to be expected, and we accounted for this time. After work, we would eat dinner as a family and hang out until it was time to go to bed and repeat the process. What was initially hard eventually became habituated, and before we went to sleep, we ended up planning the next 24 hours. Planning is actually one of the skills gained from living like this. Sometimes we worked out in the morning, other times in the evening. and now I'm doing the same process with my mom. And people from around America are starting to do this as well, because I ended up writing a book called Hashtag The Powerful Day that shares this system with anyone who needs it. We cover habit formation and the habits that need to be performed. It's important for me to tell you that we don't tell you how to perform these habits. Each habit is formed based on your preferences, and all we did was touched on the habits and discussed the 3 skills that each habit develops. These skills, like planning, self-esteem, and willpower, are pertinent to not just a healthy lifestyle, but to building the lives we have all desired. There are 21 skills in total that are gained from living Hashtag The Powerful Day. This is the book, and when we get this system into our daily lives, we are able to turn our dreams into a reality. We begin to live a healthy life because we want to be healthy, for us, not for others. We begin building healthy relationships rather than toxic ones, and we are able to consistently live one day at a time in a way that allows us to become better and lead our lives by example. This might not be important now, but when you have kids, they will live the lives you have designed for them. I know how important and precious kids are, and do we really want them living this toxicity? Do we really want them living in this toxicity, or do we want the best for them? If we want the best for them, the time for us to get a hold of our lives has come. Let's pave a brighter way for future generations together by living Hashtag The Powerful Day. My name is Jeremy Rettig, and I am the author of Hashtag The Powerful Day.